You must be Walter.
Yes, I am.
Your phone call got me a little excited. So this is it.
That is the half Disme. The other is the Libertas.
This is pretty damn amazing. The half Disme could be considered the first American coin.
Yes, very rare piece. Very rare.
One of the things I don't get about early American coins, were eagles that skinny back then?
We didn't feed them very much. I'm here to sell these two really, really rare coins, the half Disme and the Libertas. I really love collecting the coins, but I need to sell a couple of them off so I can buy some other ones at an auction, and I just hope to make a good deal here.
This is really, really cool.
The half Disme was minted in 1792.
1792, we just elected George Washington president. We finally have a constitution, and since we're a country, we gotta start making our own currency here. But the problem was, for the first 50 years of our country, the mint never got its act together. We had difficulties getting the silver and the gold and everything else like that. And I couldn't imagine being a merchant right after the Revolutionary War in this country, because if you had any kind of store, you took British pounds and French francs and Spanish reals, because there's just always a shortage of American coins. But this is the very first one, and the rumor has it that George Washington basically jacked Martha's silverware to have it made.
That is the story, no documentation about, but that is the story about that.
You know what? I'm gonna stick with the story because I like it.
You got it, okay.
Makes George Washington look a little gangster.
Yes.
And this is the Libertas Americana. This is absolutely great. Benjamin Franklin had this commissioned in France, right?
Yes. In 1781, he helped design this to get France to mint that coin on behalf of the American friendship in France.
I know the baby is the United States, right?
Right. And the lion is England.
Of course. This lady right here is France.
That's correct. She's protecting the child, the United States, from England.
That's super cool.
And then in 1783, Thomas Jefferson was in Paris. He's the one that took these medals back to America, and he passed it on to the senators and the congressmen.
It's pretty damn amazing. They're all graded by PCGS and NGC, so we know they're good. How much?
For the Libertas, $200,000. For the half Disme, I'm looking for $600,000. $800,000 for the pair.
Ooh, damn. That is a lot of money. These are two of the most desirable coins for collectors there is, and $800,000 might not be a bad price. But there's no way I can even consider spending a small fortune on them before I have an expert I trust come in the shop and check them out. Do you mind if I go make a few phone calls real quick?
Sure.
I will be right back. Oh.
I was pretty excited when you called. These are amazing. I think one of the really great things is both of these coins are really closely tied with the founding fathers. When these 1792 half Dismes are being made, Thomas Jefferson actually bought $75 worth, which is about 1,500 of these, and he spent these on the way back to Monticello. You know, it's our first American coinage. That's what really makes them special. Very first coins.
And this one, the Libertas Americana.
This is one of my favorite coins because it's so beautiful. This is a silver example. So they made these in copper, silver, and they actually made a couple gold, but those were lost in the French Revolution. The silver coins are much rarer than the copper examples, and most of them are not this condition.
All right, so what do you think they would go for?
Well, the 1792 half Disme, with the right buyer, would probably bring $500,000 to $600,000.
All right, and this one?
The Libertas Americana, I would say for the right buyer for this piece, $200,000 would be about right.
Okay, well, thanks, man.
Okay, I hope that helps you. Good luck, thanks.
Yeah.
If Rick can buy these coins, they're very, very popular. There's a lot of people who would love to own them, and he would have no trouble selling them, so I hope he's able to purchase them.
Okay, first off, the half Disme, it's pretty damn amazing. And I'm sure I'll never hold another one in my hands. But if I was to buy it and then I couldn't sell it, it would put a financial burden on me. So I'm gonna pass on this one right here. I'm just gonna let you know that. This one, I have multiple customers, and even if they don't buy it, I think I can eventually do something with it. So, 140,000?
140.
$140,000.
You heard the man. You have to make some money. I understand this. I can see, how about 180?
I will give you $150,000. At that price, I feel comfortable.
You couldn't do 160.
I will go 150. I think it's more than a fair price.
It's a deal.
Sweet. I will meet you right over there, and we will do some paperwork. You take that one.
I'll take this one.
I'll take this one. I'll meet you right over there.
Okay.
One of these days, there's going to be a coin with my face on it. What do you got there?
Well, prepare to be amazed. The rarest Hot Wheel in the world.
Is that what I think it is?
The pink 1969 rear-load beach bomb.
That's the holy grail of Hot Wheels, isn't it?
It sure is. It's in mint condition. These are the original surfboards that go with it.
Yeah, that was a ragtop Volkswagen, Volkswagen Transporter. We call it a bus, but technically it's a transporter. I know a lot more about Volkswagens than I do Hot Wheels.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my 1969 pink rear loader beach bomb, the rarest Hot Wheel in the world. And I've had it for about 15 years. My daughter's wedding is a little over a year from now, and maybe now's a great time. Could sell a Hot Wheel and raise some money for the wedding.
It's pretty amazing. It's one of those little tidbits of history and collecting that, you know, generally you see in some guy's personal little museum or something like that. I mean, Hot Wheels came out in '68, and they got Mustangs, and they got Camaros, and they were so much faster than the Matchboxes. And me and every single kid in my neighborhood, we all had our Hot Wheels. All right, do you know anything about it?
They actually stopped making this variety and made a different variety of the Volkswagen bus.
Okay.
Hence, this was never for sale to the public. That's why it's so valuable.
Okay. Hot Wheels was one of the greatest toys to come out in the late '60s, and they're still popular today. The fact that only a few of these were produced but never sent out to the public makes it incredibly rare. And being a Volkswagen bus, it's got a dual collector base. I have no idea what this is worth, but I know it's not going to be cheap. Okay, so I'm assuming if you have the holy grail of Hot Wheels, you have a lot more Hot Wheels?
I have about 6,000 Hot Wheels. I'm Hot Wheel crazy.
Okay. So what do you want for it?
$150,000. A bargain for the rarest of all rare toys.
150 grand. Damn. I don't even touch it. Let me call a friend. He owns a Toy Shack right down the street. He's a pretty big dealer in toys.
He sure is. I know him.
Okay, so I'm gonna give him a call. You hang out, just guard that thing.
Okay. I'm confident that Johnny will verify this is a legitimate car, and it's the only one like it in the world. As for the value, I'm very interested myself to see what Johnny has to say.
Hey, what's up, Rick?
Oh, pretty good. Well, you supposedly know this guy?
Hey, what's up,
Good to
Bruce?
see you.
How
How are
you
you?
doing? Good to see you.
He has
Quite
this, supposedly it's,
It is, it is. Wow.
this is supposedly the greatest, most expensive Hot Wheels ever.
All the rumors are true about the rear loader beach bomb. When Rick called me and told me he had the Hot Wheels pink rear loader beach bomb, I couldn't believe it, and I couldn't get here fast enough. This is the rarest and most sought after Hot Wheel in existence.
All right, so this is legit.
This has changed the industry of collecting Hot Wheels. Nobody thought that anybody could make an impact on Matchbox. Matchbox dominated the diecast market. And then when Hot Wheels came out in '68, it was over. They were fast, you know, they had these Spectre Flame paint jobs. You know, it was never the same. And usually in the Hot Wheel collecting world, pink always means dollar signs.
Okay.
And there's only, I believe, 2 pinks known. And one is a prototype, and the other one was an early production.
Okay.
Do you mind if I take a closer look?
Go ahead, look at
and
it.
we'll see what we have. I always have a white glove just in case, and this is one of those moments where the white glove comes out.
So what are you looking for?
This is a different base than the early production ones. So this is definitely the prototype. And there's certain things in the lettering, the bumpers, even like flaws in the casting that are only available to the prototypes in the early productions. Some of these too are just raw. It's just not cleaned up like it is in the later ones, and also the knockoffs. Everything looks 100% correct.
Okay. So what do you think it's worth?
These were like 60 cents back in the 60s, and now they're still under $1. There's some heavy hitters in the Hot Wheel world that would jump on a prototype like this. This would be easily $100,000 for this car.
Okay. All right, well, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care. In the Hot Wheels market, there's nothing close to this. I mean, this is the holy grail of Hot Wheels. This is what everybody goes after. This is the rarest, and this is in the best condition. And that's why it goes for $100,000.
So I'm thinking 60?
Nah, we're not in the same neighborhood.
I'll go 65 grand.
No, I'll go down to 140.
I mean, I go as high as 70.
Nah. It's just not gonna do it. I guess when you're talking about world record cars and the holy grails, kind of what I want to sell it for one day and somebody else wants to pay, and I guess today's not the day.
Well, thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you very much.
It was cool to see it. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Unfortunately, this is truly my pink baby. I appreciate his offer of $70,000, but in this case, I think this car is worth probably at least twice that much.
Hey, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
I've got a Babe Ruth baseball card for your consideration.
Damn, this thing's graded a 10?
Yeah, it's actually one of about a half dozen cards that exist from his playing days in a PSA 10 condition. So it's very rare, very valuable, very cool.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm just amazed that it's graded a 10. It's rarely you see any baseball card graded a 10. I like it, it's cool, but God, the image sucks.
I bought it from another collector. I've been collecting since I was 5 years old, just scrounging for baseball cards anywhere I can get them. You know, now I'm kind of more into finding baseball cards that I can share with my grandkids and kind of bring the love of the game and the love of baseball cards to them as well.
I mean, what kind of card is this?
This is actually a strip card. This was a kind of card that candy store owners had, and they would give these to kids as a premium when they bought candy.
Okay, so there was like a roll of them?
It was a long strip, a long roll of them, and they would just use scissors and cut them off.
All right, you know, it was the 1920s. I mean, baseball was the biggest thing in the United States. And what made it so big is everyone started getting radios. So suddenly, you didn't read about a baseball game, you actually got to hear it. It really changed the whole industry. And Babe Ruth was basically the guy that saved the game after the whole 1919 Black Sox thing, so.
Right.
And in 1923, Babe Ruth was already big, so I can see why this one was saved.
Yeah.
After the Black Sox scandal, Major League Baseball was really afraid that no fans were going to show up. But when Babe Ruth joined the Yankees in 1920, the fans couldn't help but come to the stadium. That year, he had over 50 home runs, and it was the first team to draw in over 1 million fans in 1 year. It's stuff like that that made the great Bambino so damn great. So that's definitely impressive. What do you want to do with it?
I'd like to sell it if I could get the right price.
Okay, and that number is?
$60,000.
That is a lot of money for a baseball card.
I mean, this is a one-of-a-kind card. There's not another one like it anywhere.
Do you mind if I have someone look at it? I have a friend right down the street. He's
Sure.
a big sports guy, and he buys and sells a lot of expensive stuff. He will know everything about this car.
Great, let's see what he says.
Okay, hang out a few minutes, maybe shop a little bit.
All right, sounds good, thanks. I have no problem with an expert coming in to look at this card, and in fact, I welcome it because it was cut off a strip in 1923 and kept for 90 years in perfect condition. Where are you gonna find that anywhere else?
This is it. This is the Babe Ruth 10 PSA.
The beautiful strip card, huh?
Yeah, the creme de la creme. I don't know. I mean, he wants 60 grand for this thing, okay? But this is literally the ugliest baseball card I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, these aren't certainly by far the most attractive cards, but make no mistake, I mean, this is One of the rarest cards of Babe Ruth being that has graded a perfect PSA 10. You know, back in the early 1900s, even up to the 20s, they weren't meant for a long-term collectible. You know, these were marketing tools. Going back to 1923, baseball was in its infancy. I mean, we had emerging stars like Babe Ruth, we had seasoned veterans like Ty Cobb. Kids and collectors really didn't have any long-term outlook on how to care for these cards. So the fact that this one's graded a perfect PSA 10, I mean, that's practically unheard of. I mean, the whole history with these cards, I mean, it's a 1923 W515-1. They were issued in strips of 10 and sold at, you know, variety stores for a penny for a strip of 10. And being that they're called strip cards, they were intended to be cut. So as you can imagine, they were literally ripped apart, you know, cut with a rusty pair of scissors, even chewed off, I've heard.
Okay, so the big thing is, how much is this thing worth?
Well, I mean, just to put things into perspective, Babe Ruth, no doubt about it, the most highly touted player in the history of the game. His earliest card from 1914, in terrible condition, albeit much more scarce, sold for almost $500,000. So his cards, it can go for quite a bit of money. Now, these strip cards, this is the only 10 I've ever heard of. As a 7 and an 8, they sell for $1,000 really consistently. As a 10, I would say it'd be worth about $12,000, $15,000. I mean, I know it's not the $60,000 you're hoping for, but the one thing with this series, it just isn't valued the same way as a lot of other cards that were circulated in packs.
Okay, thanks, man.
You got it, man. So I don't have better news for you, man.
All right, well, that's all right. Thanks.
Seeing cards like this is what got me into the hobby. The fact that I have a chance to see a Babe Ruth card from his playing days graded a perfect 10, I mean, that's not an opportunity that comes around every day.
I think he's a little low on his estimate. I mean, I kind of doubted that I was going to get the price I wanted for it, but I thought I'd be able to come a little closer than that.
No, I mean, I'm thinking I'd give you $8,000 for it. You know, Jeremy does this for a living. The way I look at it, if he says that's what it's worth, that's probably what it's worth.
I'm not going to be able to come down that far. I mean,
So
probably the lowest, my bottom dollar price would be like 40 grand.
Obviously, we're not going to have a deal because
Yeah.
$8,000's it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, well, I appreciate you taking a look at it.
And come back in if you change your mind.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, man.
I thought the appraisal was really lower than what true market value is on this card. I think I'll just hold on to it. I'm confident that I'm gonna get my price eventually, and if I don't sell it, I'm happy with, you know, just willing it to my grandkids someday.
Hey, what do you got here?
Well, I have an antique portrait of Napoleon and an antique portrait of Josephine.
Hey, old man.
Why?
Some guy found high school photos of you and Grandma.
Yeah, right.
These portraits are in mint condition. Honestly, I have no idea as to what the value is or what they're worth, but the lowest I'd accept for these portraits are $500. Yeah, think I could get it? My wife's family's from France, and it's been in the family. I know it's my wife's great-grandmother must have had them.
Corey, I don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking at an old picture of you dressed in drag.
Move over.
Feel free.
Okay.
So why are you looking to sell them?
Well, we're moving. I need the money.
All right.
Got to pay the movers. What I like about the two portraits is he's all dressed up in his uniform and everything, but Josephine wasn't bad looking, I'll tell you that much. In fact, I think she looks like my wife.
These are hand painted. They're not what is known as print transfers. These were actually painted by an artist. There was artists back in the 1800s that specialized in these. That's all they did.
So they're old?
Oh yeah, they're old. How old, you don't know, because they're not dated. There wasn't no Kinko's back then, and if you wanted a picture of Napoleon, you had to find somebody to paint it. But these numbers here tell me that these two pieces was in an auction at one time.
It could have been. I have no idea about that.
We're going to have to bring in an expert, somebody that specializes in this type of stuff.
I'd appreciate that. I'm excited about meeting with the expert. It would really be nice to know the true value of the portraits before we negotiate a price.
My name is Greg. I'm an expert in French Revolutionary Napoleonic history. And whenever the guys have an item in French history from that period, they give me a call. They're most likely from the 1850s, from the first decade of the Second Empire, when Napoleon III had taken power in France and was trying to draw a link to his uncle, Napoleon. There was a great market for Napoleonic and Josephinian artifacts all across the 19th century, paintings that were done as pendants, on vases, on plates, even on salt and pepper shakers. The interesting thing about Josephine and Napoleon is that, unlike previous monarchs, they were closely associated as a couple. They were really thought to be in love. They were the Kennedy and Jackie O of their period. She was very much a visual icon, a fashionable person, widely revered as a kind of young, beautiful celebrity of the day. So miniature portraits like this were very common. Now, one really interesting thing about this image of Napoleon, the original portrait from which it was done in 1838, 24 years after Napoleon's death. Art historians think that because he didn't have a model to work from, the artist may have used his own head as the model. In other words, that's actually more of a likeness of the artist than it might have been of Napoleon.
So you're telling me that the idea that everybody gets when they see Napoleon isn't the actual Napoleon?
The artist did this one at a turn, so he had to use some kind of model to do the head, and we think he may have used his own head as the model.
You got any idea what the value of these things are?
Well, I'd want to be conservative, but I think based on what we know, they would probably go for about $800.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I think these portraits are unique in that you've got two together in pretty good condition. For Big Hoss and the Old Man, I think these are really worth having in their shop, and I think they'll get a good price for them.
All right, Greg, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure. Good to see you again.
We appreciate it.
These things are kind of cool. And based on their age, I mean, they're in great condition. I think they'd be a cool thing to have in a shop. The only question is, can we get them at a good price? What are you looking to get out of them?
How about, how about 600 bucks?
I can't work that close for you.
Yeah. If you want, I could make you an offer for about half of what Greg said at 400.
Does that mean you're going to double your money off of me?
No, sir. Realistically, if I buy these off you for 400, I'm going to put them in my case, and I'm going to mark them at 800. And the first guy that comes along and offers me 600, I'm going to sell them to him.
450?
I'll tell you what, I'll go 425 just so you feel like you won.
That's a deal. All right, thank you. I got $425. I'm really very pleased and very happy.
Oh, my God. So what do we got here? What is this?
This is a Propeller passed down to me. It was a gift to my grandmother that was given to her by Charles Lindbergh.
Hey, Rick, that matches your head.
I'm coming into the pawn shop today to sell my Charles Lindbergh Propeller. It's been in my family for years. It's been a treasure to them, and now it's no longer a treasure to me.
So tell me the whole story.
The whole story of this thing is that it was a gift to my grandmother from Charles Lindbergh for selling war bonds during World War II.
I imagine she sold a whole lot of them.
A whole lot of them.
Do you know what kind of plane it's off of, or?
No, the story I have is it was never put on an airplane.
Back in the day, there was superstars, heroes, whatever you want to call them. Lindbergh was one.
When it comes to American aviation, the three biggest names are the Wright brothers, Amelia Earhart, and Lindbergh. It's those three and no one else.
This looks like it's in perfect condition. The wax is crystallized on it from age,
Right.
but you clean this thing up and put it on a plane.
Yeah, right here, it's even got the original manufacturer specs. 160 horsepower, 1,850 RPMs. The engineering on these things was amazing. They had to be perfectly balanced. You can literally take a pen, put the propeller on top of it, and it would be perfectly level and perfectly balanced.
There's just one problem.
What?
What's it worth?
I have no clue.
Me either. I don't know if it's worth $10 or $10,000. You got any paperwork, any documentation on this
I don't
thing?
have any documentation. That I'm still working on.
This propeller is beautiful on its own, but if it was a gift from Charles Lindbergh, that changes everything. It's definitely cool, and I definitely like it, and I really want an expert to check it out.
Sure. Okay, great. Thank
Hey,
you.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks a lot, guy.
You too. Thank you.
I'm the administrator of the Howard W. Cannon Aviation Museum at McCarran Airport, so I've worked with a number of historic propellers in the past. If this can be connected to Charles Lindbergh, it would be a valuable piece from a collector's standpoint because they would want that associative, connection with Charles Lindbergh. I can tell you it's probably pre-World War II. The fact that it's this particular serial number, it's a civilian serial number, it doesn't have most propellers in the 1930s were wood. They weren't all wood, though. They were using steel, they were using aluminum, they were beginning to try new materials that would last better. You said that Charles Lindbergh supposedly gave this to your grandmother?
That's correct. For selling war bonds, that's the information I have.
Do you have any documentation of Charles Lindbergh giving this to your grandmother?
No, I don't right now. We had documentation of a newspaper article, and it was lost over the years.
Okay, I would guess that the first thing that people would think about is it off the Spirit of St. Louis? No, it's not. That's an absolute. The Spirit of St. Louis used a steel propeller. This is wood. Doesn't fit. Charles Lindbergh, before World War II, was in a group called America First. It was an isolationist group. He was against the war, and he tried very hard to keep the United States out of World War II. There were a lot of people, including President Roosevelt, that really didn't trust his motives. They thought maybe he was a closet Nazi. They thought, he was way too ensconced with the anti-war forces. But when we went to war, he worked on behalf of the United States. And so he changed their minds with all the work that he did on behalf of the United States, but he didn't do a lot of work with bond drives. There's no way of saying for sure unless you have some kind of documentation from the time. And that is something that you could probably find. In the newspapers at the time, a presentation from Charles Lindbergh would be in the newspaper. That would have been reported.
My grandparents and my parents said this is real. I can't dispute that because they wouldn't lie to me. Why would they lie to me?
My first guess would be that it was a different pilot that might have presented it. There are a lot of very famous pilots that did work with the bond drives.
Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate your time.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Mark.
Even though Mark couldn't verify this propeller for us, it's still an antique, it's still in great shape, and it's still worth money, just not nearly as much. Since I can't tie it to Charles Lindbergh, I'm sort of torn here. What we do know is we have a pre-World War II propeller that's in pretty good shape. I would give you $1,000 for it.
I'll overstep my son. I'll go up to $1,500 now. My recommendation to you is you take the damn thing home, you try to find the documentation. If you do, I'll probably take and pay $2,000 to $3,000 for it. Maybe a little more than that.
Well, I think I'll do the research on it.
Okay, no problem.
Hey,
Hey, the offer stands. I think this guy made the right decision. If he can find paperwork that proves this propeller was associated with Charles Lindbergh, he's gonna make a lot of money.
A guy called me about a vintage jukebox he wants to sell. Vintage jukeboxes are always good sellers, so I'm headed over to his house to check it out.
Hey, there he is. Welcome. Come in, come in.
You the one with the jukebox?
I am the one with the jukebox, yes.
So this is it.
This is our beauty. This is the 1947 Wurlitzer Jukebox 1100.
And it is a gem.
This thing is like a fine bottle of wine. It just gets better with age.
Kind of like me?
I love this jukebox because it is a classic jukebox and it is in pristine condition because my wife is meticulous about taking care of things. If you take care of things, they last a long time. Look at me.
I mean, everything about this I absolutely love. Neat company. There was a guy named Wurlitzer, and he came over from Germany, the 1800s. And by the 1950s, Wurlitzer was a huge company. They made vending machines, they made jukeboxes, they made musical instruments. I think this was their first post-war machine. In 1946, they, I think they were back-ordered just due to the fact that, I mean, you couldn't get anything like that during the war. They didn't want to look cheap, they didn't want to look too flashy. It was really a hard mix to get the right look, and this was what they came up with. And to this day, it baffles me that we don't build stuff this beautiful anymore.
Yes.
Does it work?
Absolutely. So when you want to select a song, then you just press this, the record comes out, the turntable comes up from underneath and takes it to the needle.
Cool. We get jukeboxes in the shop, but rarely ones from the 1940s, and practically never in this kind of shape. Collectors will go nuts for this. This is what they want. It's cool. How much do you want for it?
$6,000 is the minimum.
Ooh. These go for, in perfect condition, they go for right around $5,000 or $6,000. So I would give you like $3 grand for it.
Well, we've already turned down $3 grand.
I have to warranty these things. I have to deliver them. I could go 35.
No, it's 6,000.
There's no money at 6,000. There's no money for me to make.
Okay, well, we know what its value is, and we certainly don't want to just give it away.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you $4,000.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'd have to think it over, and I'd certainly want to talk with my wife before I decided anything like that.
Thanks for letting me see it.
Okay, thank you. It would be great to have $4,000, but I also know that it's really worth a whole lot more than that.
What do we have here?
It's a 1966 Lost in Space original helmet.
I don't know if it's cool or like the nerdiest thing ever, but I like it.
Both.
Did they ever wear a helmet like this in the show? I don't think so.
I didn't really watch the show, to be honest, a little before my time, but
You calling me old?
Maybe. The helmet is a vintage 1966 Remco toy helmet. It was meant for a child. It's a pretty cool item, and it's like a football helmet for nerds. The helmet doesn't have any sentimental value to me, but I have a hobby of collecting autographs and memorabilia, and had the helmet added to the collection and figured, you know what, get it signed by the cast.
This is really cool. Lost in Space. It was the Robinson family that went in a spaceship in the future, and the future was 1997. They got lost in space and had to go from planet to planet every episode. And it was uber cheesy, but developed like this cult-like status. Everyone loved it. And everyone still remembers the one tagline, you know, danger, Will Robinson, danger, danger. Where did you get this?
The helmet I got from a toy shop years ago, and then I heard they're going to be appearing at a show. I said, you know what, let me go try to get it signed by maybe one or two of them, and they happened to all be there, so
okay.
Had them all sign it and put their characters' names on it.
Is there all the characters from it?
Everybody except for the doctor who has passed away.
That was the real evil, mean guy?
I believe so.
Okay. Lost in Space started in 1965 and went 3 seasons before it was canceled by CBS. But it was so popular in reruns, it ended up being turned into a movie in the 1990s. And today, they're thinking about maybe even redoing the series. So it's still relevant today. This is really interesting. How much you want for it?
I like $1,500.
That sounds like I have no idea. I mean, it's one of those weird pop culture things. It's so cheesy, it's cool.
That was the goal.
Yeah. Let me call my buddy Steve. He literally knows everything there is to know about autographs.
Sure.
All right, I'll be right back.
Thanks. So they're calling in an expert, Steve Grad from PSA, and I know Steve actually pretty well, so I'm excited to see what Steve has to say it's worth, because I think I probably know a little more on this one than he does.
I love the show. I grew up on the reruns, you know, I love watching it.
So he's got it signed by everyone except one.
Yeah,
the mean doctor guy.
Yeah, the doctor didn't sign it. He was
Well, he
passed
away, yeah, Jonathan Harris. I will say, you don't really see too many helmets signed by these people. Mostly photographs. It's rare that people kind of branch out into that, you know, universe. Lost in Space is kind of this campy 60s show. Thing faded away, kind of went into reruns, but then I think that's brought in all these new fans. So I think that the fan attraction is always going to be there.
I mean, the signatures look really nice. At least they're not all faded and smeared out. So what are these things worth?
Let's have a look. I mean, I guess the most important thing, like you said, no smudging, no smearing. Just taking a look at Mark Goddard first. Pretty simple signature. Mark Goddard really hasn't changed much. He's got kind of this nice right angle, really nice signature. Can't read every letter, but it's, you know, looks pretty good on there. Bill Mummy, that's kind of the main one I go to. Bill Mummy, really sloppy. He kind of just wipes out the last part of it, and you don't get to see much, but that's a typical Bill Mummy signature. Matches the same thing I've got here in my exemplars. The last one is really nice signature, June Lockhart. Obviously, she's getting a little older now, so signature's gonna start to deteriorate a little bit, but still you see the nice signature. Same thing here, really nice, beautiful signature of her. So signatures are perfect.
Okay, so what's it worth?
Right, so I don't know about the toy itself, you know, what the toy is worth, but I can tell you the signatures itself, you know, you could get these people, but it's so unique presentation-wise. So based on what I see here, the presentation of them all, they look very nice, no smearing. They're all definitely good. I put the value right at about $500.
Okay.
But I'm not good with toys, so I'd recommend having your toy guy take a look at this to give you guys an idea what the toy itself is worth.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Yep, good seeing you. Good luck, man. Nice to see you, brother.
Nice seeing you.
Yep.
It's pretty exciting. They're bringing actually a toy expert in to look at the helmet itself with the autographs in addition because, you know, as Steve doesn't know the value of the helmet, I'm hoping the toy expert will.
This is amazing.
Okay, so tell me, are a lot of these still around?
No, definitely not. I mean, you see the B9 robot, you'll see that come to market, but you hardly ever see the helmet. Almost always, too, you know, the dome here, the reflector, I mean, this is always broken or missing. You know, and it's amazing that that's all intact. Also, we have all the straps, and those are all intact with the original rivets, and we even have the chin guard. Everything looks great about this helmet.
All right. Tell me, what is this thing worth? Because Steve Grad came in and he's told me the signatures are worth right around $500.
Okay. Well, as a toy itself, I could see easily in that $400 to $500 range just for the helmet. With my value and the autograph's value, I think you could even put a premium on top of that. Because they put their character names on there, you don't see that very often. You could easily get $1,200 to $1,400 for this.
Okay, man. Thanks.
Sure. There's a huge market for Lost in Space toys. I think if Rick's able to buy the item, he'll have no problem moving it. It's actually an item I wouldn't mind picking up from my personal collection.
So, what will you take for it?
I mean, 15 is what I'd like for it.
Not gonna happen. The reality is, it's probably gonna bring around $1,200.
So what are you offering then for it?
700?
No, not even close. You can do better than that.
How much would you do for it?
1,000?
I'll give you 8. I'm not getting rich off yet.
No, and I'm not getting rich off it either. I mean, but you know, I think my best would be 9. You know, we meet in the middle at 9.
I'll give you the 9 if you put on the helmet.
Deal. Selling at $900 is, you know, I think a fair price. I think it's a win-win for everybody. But part of the deal was to put the helmet on for the extra $100, and you know what? For $100, I'll make a fool of myself as long as I get what I want.
I'll meet you right over there.
Sounds good.
I guess there's a first time for everything.